And I know idiots will say things like, that set didn't have a collector box, so there were chases in the draft box. Only an idiot would say this. Of course. Whoa. Welcome to Metazoo Be With You, America's most flu-ridden MTG podcast. I am, of course, joined by the hometown home team guy who has the freaking sticker on his hat still, Josh.
Gosh,
I don't know.
George,
you suck at the intro this week.
Miserable. I'm going to do the intro first. Welcome to Metazoo Be With You, your Magic the Gathering podcast, weekly, every week, even on Black Friday. We hope that you are hanging out, shopping, hopefully at my store or George's store or Josh.
Whatever.
Do you have a store? Josh, do you have an
no,
online
that's
store?
my whole angle here.
Hopefully you're having yourself a great day. Maybe you're on your way to Black Friday deals or doing whatever. We're so stoked that you've joined us. My name's Louie. I am from KitchenTableTCG, if you don't know. Below me is George. He's from Compete Sport, America's #1 esport arena, and LGS. And Josh over here on the left is Magic the Gathering's newest and best looking content creator. Make sure you go watch all of Josh's.
Is he Rudy?
The intros are so much more positive this week. What's going on?
Yeah, this is awful. This is awful.
Rudy looked rough this week.
Rudy had a rough week.
Is always the best looking because he and I share one love, and it's not Magic.
Taco Bell?
It's Taco Bell.
There's a unique Magic the Gathering content creator take, liking Taco Bell. Good job, George.
Thank you. You guys like Taco Bell? I feel like me and him love Taco Bell.
Listen, I used to like Taco Bell, but now I can't afford Taco Bell. So
yeah, Taco Bell is pumping.
So I got the flu at my trade show, as I'm sure none of you can tell from my voice. And I went to Taco Bell last night because I couldn't go around you normies who don't have the plague. So I got my stuff on. I went to Taco Bell. It was $11. It's $11.80.
Yeah, and then
it
when
used
you have
to be $8.
So having kids, I know George, you love this. Having kids, you really can't afford Taco Bell because the cheapest thing on the menu is still like $5. Like it's just
the value menu at Taco Bell is not a value.
Either get your shit in order or sponsor this podcast. Those are your two options.
All right, let's tell them what we're talking about today. We're going to talk about transforming cereal, transformer cards, and serialized cards, and their price points going up and down. We're going to talk about Dominaria Remastered. We'll be talking about the new Jumpstart.
Spoiler, Louis won't like the product. It's a Magic product. Continue, Louis.
We're going to talk about the new Jumpstart set and talk about should we be ordering it and should people be buying it.
Yes.
We're going to talk about our Black Friday sales, not because you can do it, it's all in store, but just talk about Black Friday sales in general as well. And then we're going to talk about Cryptic events and DOS Genesis, the Genesis World event. And then we're going to do some Metazoo product updates. They did a nice little product update that we'll talk about. So welcome to the podcast. We're so stoked that you're here. Make sure you hit subscribe and hit the like button and leave a comment on how much better George sounds when you can barely hear him.
The Metazoo Be With You comment section is wild. It is the wild, wild west out there. I'm just out there catching strays. George is the king.
I love how you sent me the comments.
I stopped sending you comments. Does Josh send you comments?
Josh sends every comment. It's like I read the comment section one snippet at a time now.
Not true. I said the duality of commenters is hilarious because I'm out here catching bullets and then getting praise based on the day that you look at it's awesome. It's so much fun.
It's my favorite part of every week is interacting with the comment section. So
me too.
All right, we're going to talk about the Transformers cards, which are tanking. We're going to talk about the serialized cards, which are going up, but probably only because of Josh.
That's fair.
That's actually fair. Now, somebody predicted this exact scenario last week.
Oh my gosh.
We could rewind that and figure out who said that was going to happen. That the Transformers were going to tank and serialized were going to pump. I don't remember who said that last week on the podcast, but that guy.
I predicted serialized cards were going to pump.
Did we all agree to that? I'm pretty sure we all agreed.
No, you did not actually. Actually, I believe Josh and I both agreed, and you were like,
I don't know if you agreed with anything.
Yeah,
you were like, last week I think we were kind of mean to you.
Everything else in Magic always pumps.
Kind of mean.
Whatever. So Transformers cards, it's interesting. Like the Optimus Prime one sold this week for I think 1,600, which is down. Which is down like $900 from when I sold mine.
Oh no!
Sold this week for $1,100.
$1,100. Hey, I'm out. I'm out. I have no dog in this fight.
This man has secured the bag.
I will say, like, I thought that was kind of the price they were going to settle at, was around that $800 to $1,100 price. That happened in record time, though.
It doesn't surprise me the timing of that.
No,
like
not at all.
when that was going to happen was certainly this week. Like this is, in my mind, like this is the realistic prices, and then what happens from here is a big question in my mind. Like if those go down to like a gold bug, which is like not even is that even a real do you guys do Transformers?
No.
Everyone in my store says gold bug's like not really even a transformer, and there was another transformer that didn't get included. Anyway.
Oh, there's drama.
Bumblebee didn't get included. See?
What?
I remember. So the conversation is, did they have a different license for Bumblebee? I'm guessing it's just going to be in a secret layer, to be honest with you. But
didn't they make a Bumblebee movie recently?
Yeah. So the conversation
is standalone.
Could they not get the license for that? And that's why Bumblebee wasn't included.
They rented out or sold the license for a period of time, and they don't have it back yet.
Yeah, because it's merchandise. So anyway, one of the gold bug ones, which is the other one that I pulled, sold for like $300, which is like nothing.
Hey man, a $300 card is cool. A $300 card is neat.
Yeah, but remember, I pulled 2 in 38 boxes. I think.
Yeah, I get it. Like this is a very niche market.
I agree.
Like you have to both like Magic and Transformers for this to matter,
and have a lot of money.
And be able to
$200. Like I'm not sure that qualifies for like a lot of money.
That's not cool. There was points in time in my life where $200 was a lot of money.
Yeah, but I would never have said like $200 is a lot of money. Like I did not have $200, but I wouldn't be like $200 is a lot of money.
You are so disconnected from the average Magic player, George. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's
that makes
not
sense.
the perspective.
How much is your Magic box? How much are your Magic boxes in your store?
The same, like probably the same price as yours.
A number would be the answer here.
Collect what boxes? There's like 15 different versions.
Set box.
Versions. $125 for a set box.
So you're actually more expensive than me. I guess you hate your consumers. But yes.
I don't think I am.
I'm at $120.
He just gaslighted me. He made me tell him the number, and no matter what I said, he was going to be below it.
I'm actually at $120. I'm actually at $120. I think. Tyler, put that in the comment section below if I'm right or not.
It depends on the box. I think on new
releases. I'm at $120. I think.
I think new releases on $125, and then I kind of match TCG player a little bit.
Oh, you're willing to negotiate? You're my favorite player. I'll buy serialized cards from you. Let's talk.
I don't sell serialized cards, although. Oh well, I don't want to get into that. So there's this new thing. I don't want to talk about it. Never mind. All right, we'll talk about it. There's this new thing on TCG Player where you can actually manipulate prices of sellers.
No.
Somebody did it to me.
No.
I had my serialized cards up, and I had them up from a couple weeks ago, and then I paused my inventory, and so my inventory wasn't live, and then I turned my inventory back on, and I wasn't paying attention yesterday, and all 3 of my serialized cards sold for $1. And I was like, what happened? And so I what happened is when I was doing my pricing 3 weeks ago, I did a picture which makes it not auto price. It takes it out of the auto population for pricing. And for whatever reason, they either changed that or somebody literally matched the exact text of my listing, and then when it auto populates price, it lowered it, and so they scanned me. I mean, I refunded the order. I'm not shipping out 3. Stop it, George. You would have done the exact same thing.
Not true.
Yes, you would have.
No, I have shipped out pricing errors before. I would not.
No, everyone leave in the comment section below. George is
this is not a pricing error. This is gaming the system.
Yeah, everyone leave it in the comment section below if George is being honest about that one. Sell a $300 card for $1.
I've sold a $1,000 box for $180 before.
Okay.
Anyway, moving back onto Transformers.
Gods of War. Is that the box?
Gods of War?
Is that a box?
No, it's not.
That's some red box for Magicthegathering.
Gods of War is not a box.
Is that like the devil on it, I think, or something?
It's a fantastic PlayStation franchise, though.
Wow. This one divulged fast.
Anyway,
dead.
Guys, I mean, I'm interested in talking about Transformers. Let's not divulge yet.
Okay. So where do you guys think let's use Optimus Prime, the number one, the big one. Where do you guys think that falls? Where do you think that evens out?
It feels like with all the different treatments, like you get the stained glass foil, the regular version. I'm tempted to say it's gonna land somewhere in the same realm that Higatsugu. I don't know how to say the name. It's gonna
neon ink.
Yes, but as anything else with a newer set, it will be a little bit lower. I think it's probably a little more available than that was. So I think it's going to settle somewhere a little below that.
It's already below that. I think the red one is 1,600.
I think we're going to see some up and down still, though. We're in a down right now. I think there's another spike that will be somewhere. Wow, George, you disagree. Really, take a lot of time and really use all your wind and explain this to me.
It's going to be an $800 card, I think. I think that's a good number.
That's not bad.
That's better than I expected, to be honest. Like, I just think like so few people will want the fullest, blingiest version of this card. I just don't think the demand is there. I could be dead wrong. God knows I haven't so far about stupid Kamigawa set guy.
So that's the kicker right there.
How wrong I am?
No, if they do the same thing as Kamigawa. If we see in 3 months, if we see another massive supply of collector boxes that sit at distribution.
No. So here's what that means. So they can't reprint this box because of the serialized card. Because of the serialized cards.
Right? That is a great take.
All my takes are always great.
We've said this like 3 times on the podcast.
Hold on, Boo Boo.
You just said if they get another wave of this box.
If there's a second wave, it means there was always planned a second wave.
Yeah.
And I will say like distro seems to largely be out. One distro is out. One distro has a little left. The other one has some left. They always have some left because of their pricing. But I mean, distro doesn't have a ton of this, unlike Silver Tempest, and they could get a restock, they could get a reorder, they could do any of that stuff.
The casual jab in there at me about Silver Tempest, I love it.
But I this could be it. Like I don't know. I will say I ordered a bunch this week.
Now, do you think that if we knew how many foil Transformer Optimus Primes and foil Transformer Shatterglass foil Megatrons there were, that the value increases or decreases? The community knowing that number, does it increase or decrease that value?
I think one of the things with I'm gonna answer this. I want to go back to George too, but I think one of the things with Magic the Gathering is as you get to certain price points, you start thinking about the other cards that you could get. I think at a price point of $900, like George said, $800 for Optimus Prime. I'd rather have a Gaia's Cradle. Like, I'd rather have like a pretty nice minty guy, iconic Magic the Gathering
really
card.
Good shape Gaia's Cradle too.
Yeah, like an iconic Magic the Gathering card. Sure, Wizards is gonna reprint the reserve list. I think we're kind of on board with that. But I think at the end of the day,
I'm not doing that on Thanksgiving. I'm not going to do it. You're not going to bait me.
If you're interested in that content, I did a video on it.
I think at the end of the day, like at that price point, there's other cards that consumers rather buy that are more iconic. There's nothing iconic about Megatron in Magic the Gathering.
Look, that's so real. That hits so much. Like that's everything in this set right now. That I'm literally seeing these cards, the Transformers, the Serialized cards, listed alongside in high-end groups, alongside dual lands and pieces of power. And when you see them sitting there side by side and you go in and you plan to buy the Transformer or you plan to buy all the Serialized cards that I'm trying to buy, it's really hard not to be like, I could just snag that Tropical Island instead for the same price. Yeah. Like that's real, dude.
Yeah. So, and then on the piggyback of that to George, like Kamigawa collector boxes sold out at this point too. Like in set boxes were sold out. Kamigawa set boxes were like $165 on TCG Player at this point, or a couple weeks after. Yes, they were. I was
a couple weeks after this. Yeah. It wasn't a week after release.
No, it was like 3 to 4 weeks after release. But
keep in mind that last week was technically release week.
Right. No, I understand that.
That still feels weird. I've had that pointed out several times.
But the supply shock to the market happened at pre-release this time. So we're technically in the Kamigawa window, we're technically 2 weeks after, in my opinion. So I personally think like there's probably more of these collector boxes sitting at the Wizards warehouse that are going to go to.
I think that's
Citro.
true.
Yeah.
I think the question is, are they there now or are they being printed now? And to me,
Oh,
that's
I
a
don't
big
think they're being
difference.
printed now.
If they're not being printed now, we're in fine shape because like they'll get to the stores before Christmas. They'll be gone by Christmas.
So you think that Kamigawa collectors had a actual physical reprint,
I
not
do.
just they kept what's your
The
That's
time
just-
between the
you're-
time between the restocks was pretty significant. It was significant enough to reprint them.
Yeah.
I think it was like almost 3 months, like 2 months between.
It
2.5
was a good
months.
amount of time, and I remember from this side of the counter, as I say, it was really weird when all of a sudden they were like all over the place
Well,
again. If
I
you weren't
remember, like-
following that closely or a store that just kind of slapped us in the face.
Well, it was weird because I kept trying to, it was a great set. Kept trying to reorder more and more.
Yeah.
They, one distro does their weekly allowance of boxes to you, which is lovely. But like, I guess everybody was out basically. And then all of a sudden they're like, "All right, how many do you want?" And you're like, "Wait a minute."
I that's the first time I ordered a significant amount of collector boosters as a
Oh
starter.
no!
How'd that go?
It's great. I would still be buying Kamigawa collector boxes. I personally, this is a whole nother conversation, but like Boseiju, the extended art foil, I think that's a pretty decent spec right now, in my opinion, in terms of Magic. If you take a look at like the Great Henge from Throne of Eldraine, and that card that's it's an auto include in every green commander deck.
Severely commander playable.
Yeah. Same with Boseiju. It's an auto include in every green commander deck.
Yeah.
Boseiju goes above and beyond though. It's an auto include in a lot of decks. Modern, Pioneer. If you're playing green, there's really not a reason not to slap that in there.
Yeah.
Lacking the basic forest type is a little awkward, but most decks can find a slot for it.
In Pioneer, that doesn't matter though, right?
Yeah.
In Pioneer it doesn't matter. In Modern, it's with Blood Moon and everything going around the Alpine Moon, Blood Moon decks. But in Pioneer, it's just you if you run green, you slap in Boseiju.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm pretty safe. I'm pretty happy with as much Kamigawa as I can afford to take out of my cash flow, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, all right. Can we transition to the serialized cards?
But I was going to say, you outlined a key difference right there. When they reprinted Kamigawa collector boxes, it was Higatsugu was one out of how many packs, right? The big difference is serialized cards are N out of 500. There's only 500. So the notion of reprinting this, it almost feels off the table, and it kind of adds a little security to the box.
But we don't know if Wizards reprinted Kamigawa. I mean, we're using Kamigawa as a baseline, and what we don't know is did they
under
reprint?
The assumption if they that they reprinted Kamigawa. Sure.
I mean, I think that you can't reprint more, but I would be very surprised if Wizards didn't hold some boxes.
I think they probably did.
Sure.
I mean, that doesn't. I mean, I think they always do. To be honest, it doesn't surprise me.
So, what do you think? Let's go ahead.
They might, with the kerfluffle of the stock price, they might want to get that into the market quickly while they can sell it, though.
Yeah, but they also have like so much other product to move through. We already know that.
But like, listen, like when you're in that position, you sell what you can sell. And like they're gonna have a much easier time selling that than like the 80,000th box of AFR collectors.
Sure. Josh, what are your current buys on the serialized cards? Because you've been really going after those hard. I'm just the guy that's not selling mine for $1.
So I didn't know I was going to be asked for my absolute breakdown here. So let me pull up my spreadsheet. And at the time of the recording of this podcast, I have either 8 or 10 of these things in my hands or on their way to me, depending on how the last 2 negotiations go. But I will say I have paid no more than $306 for any card. The 6 including I negotiated a goods and service fee split as well as a shipping and tracking fee split. So that's the max I've paid for any one of these cards. The min that I've paid right now is $200. It's the lowest amount that I've paid for a card.
Are you seeing any difference between like mythic and rare, or is the difference strictly based on the iconic nature of the individual card?
There is a difference and again, this is just from what I found. There's a difference in the mythic rarities and the common rarities when you start getting to cards that are maybe, let's say, less playable, right? Or not less playable. You can make an argument everything on this list is playable. You can find a home for almost anything, but I really think that the iconic nature of the card is going to cause it to be expensive. You look at something like an Ornithopter. or even like a Chromatic Star. Those are going for some big bucks right now. And the reason is there's an auto include in almost everything. You can put those cards in so many decks across multiple formats. But these, to me, my hot take on these cards that just drives me nuts is with all the news of the reserve list, man. I dove more and more into these in the past few days. This feels like the safest Magic the Gathering bet that money can make right now. That's my hot tinfoil hat take. These things are crazy.
All right, let me back up and laugh at you buying cards, serialized cards for the sole purpose of putting them in decks. Makes me laugh.
That is not why I'm buying.
But that's like that was your take.
I
don't.
I will put them, but I'm buying anything that you'll sell me.
But I don't. I don't even see. I guess I don't. I would never put one of these $300 cards in a deck.
False.
No?
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. False. The dragon, the 5-color artifact
That
dragon, you would play as a commander in a heartbeat. You have a $4,000 Elves deck.
No,
it's not. You would put it in the deck.
Elves deck comes out. You lost, Louis. Sorry, buddy. That was it. That is the Louis Trump card. You can say nothing about the price when you talk about your $20,000 popper deck. I'm sorry, buddy. You've lost. Congratulations, Josh. You won the podcast.
This moment in the podcast and follow Louis. Does an amazing. It's some of the best content on his channel. God. He does a Commander stream where he plays Commander with his friends. One of these artifact cards is going to pop up in one of his freaking decks sooner or later, and it won't be this year. He'll forget. But when it happens,
let me defend myself. Let me defend myself first of all.
Not allowed on this podcast.
I would put the Dragon Engine. You're talking about the Phyrexian Dragon? No, not the Phyrexian. The Dragon.
No,
the starts with an R.
Yes, I don't remember his name.
It's Dragon
I'm
Engine.
not a Commander player.
I think it's Dragon Engine. I would use that as a commander, and I would put it in a hard case on the table. The difference between that thing's awesome. I was going to ask you to get any cool numbers. That's 69. That's great. You only paid $300 for that too. That's insane. Yeah. So I would put the commander on the table as a commander in a hard case. The difference between my popper deck and my commander decks is that I let people borrow my commander decks almost all the time. Like if you come to my house,
you don't let people borrow your popper deck?
No, I don't let people play with my
$4,000.
My $4,000 popper deck. I have a non-foil. At the shop. I have a non-foil version of the popper elf deck that people can borrow. So we have like 15 popper decks that people can borrow.
So one day you'll just have a non-blinged commander deck that someone can buy, and you'll have your blinged copy that you brag about and make a video to give views.
My commander decks, I very often will give to a friend or whatever, and be like, "Hey, yeah, you can hang on to this and play with this." That's the difference between my popper deck and my commander decks. I usually try to use the lowest value cards other than one of my decks, which I'm actually playing on stream on the 3rd. My Alea artifact deck has all the blinged out swords.
Like the full great deck.
Yeah. Anyway.
Why do you hate his deck?
I love his deck. It was a great deck.
It's completely average. It's very pretty.
I'm Team Josh on this one, by the way.
Wait,
so you think this is the safest investment that money and Magic can buy right now?
That is not what I said. Is that what you said?
That was my tinfoil hat take. Yes, it was.
All right, cancel that. I'm Team Josh that this is a good investment. Safest Magic the Gathering investment
right now. You heard it here first.
I'm all
in, baby.
Personally, I would wait to see if they do this for the next set. If they do serialized cards in the next standard Magic collector box.
Oh my god, imagine spells.
The values, in my opinion, the value of your serialized cards is going to decrease kind of significantly.
Why isn't that true in sports cards, do you think? By the way, nothing we're saying here's financial advice. 3 morons. Well, 2 morons and a super moron. I'll leave it up to you to guess who.
I mean, I made a spreadsheet. It very well could be financial advice.
No, can't be financial advice. This is not financial advice.
Maybe if Josh wants to put that out there.
This isn't.
Okay, so the difference between sports and this. Yep. That's what you're asking me?
I'm asking why did every box of sports has serialized cards now, more or less. It doesn't decrease the value of the earlier sets that have serialized cards.
But it kind of does, George.
Okay. That's a good point. I concede. You're right.
I've seen them. Somebody sent me this week because of your comment last week about this. there are serialized sports cards of crappy players that are like $5 to $10 cards that are
Absolutely.
worthless.
That's not at all my point. My point is that a crappy player will have a worthless card.
Right, but these are crappy cards that are serialized and selling for $300.
No, boo-boo. No, boo-boo.
Yes, boo-boo.
There's two things. First, like there's some that are not crappy. Like if I were to buy some serialized cards, I'd be putting money in the.
If I were to buy serialized cards,
okay, I haven't bought serialized cards. I would be buying and bidding on the good ones. But I do think there's a floor, and I don't think the floor is $10. I don't think you're going to find these for $10. Unlike Louis.
Right. So Ivory Tower, probably the worst one. Josh, you're the player here.
Drinking?
I think it's is it a mimosa?
I'm not sure. Is it a Miller Lite with orange juice?
Listen, when your buddy is sick, you boost the immune system. Have you never heard of a brass monkey? It
Josh,
pays to be rich. It pays to be rich.
Can we get a clip of all of Josh's drinks on the podcast from since we
You're
got
sick,
him?
George. I gotta boost my immune system, and I still have to deal with you and listen to you talk. So
is it a mimosa made with beer?
Try it at Thanksgiving. You'll thank me.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna do that.
So Ivory Tower might be.
We're the trashiest podcast on TCG. We're the trashiest MTG podcast.
Just
we're no longer the most flu-ridden.
Okay. Ivory Tower might be the worst card, but I had to ask myself, and I'm sure you guys have asked yourself this too. Like, if they were for sale for $100, there's no way you don't buy them, right? Okay, 125, 150. I buy them all at that price. If they're $150, I buy every card at that price.
You would not. You would not.
I would buy every card I could get my hands on. Yes, I would.
Okay.
I would.
Everyone, Josh's email is Josh at
No, it's HometownTCG@gmail.com. And if you want to sell me serialized cards for $100, I will buy them from you right now.
I'm pretty sure what you just said is if they're $100, I'll buy them. If they're $125, I'll buy every one. If they're $150, I think you went up to like almost $200 that you buy everyone.
I think I stopped at 150, and I might have gotten a little hyperbolic. Sorry, I took a page out of your guys' book here. But no, email me. I'm buying.
So I think that's probably fair right now, because if they don't print more serialized cards in the next set,
doesn't matter.
I think these go up. But I think the risk of them making this a thing that they overdo is too high.
I don't think they can overdo it. I think what they can overdo is the number of cards in a set.
Well, 63 seems pretty high to me.
I think you just said Wizards can't overdo it, by the way.
37,500 serialized cards.
I know. Between this and the $999 pack, those are the two things you can mention in the podcast. I know that.
But it's numbers we get right. It's numbers we get right. So
37,500 and the $1,000 pack is coming soon. You don't like either. We know that.
So Josh needs $3.75 million to buy all of them at $100.
I'd buy everyone that I'd buy everyone that I could. Sorry, when I was physically unable to purchase them, you're correct. I would not purchase them. Great.
Here, if somebody came to Josh with every one for $4 million, he'd find the money real fast.
Yeah, he would. He'd be calling us. He'd be like,
Luke. No, I wouldn't be calling us.
All right.
Wow.
So diss on the podcast again, 2 weeks in a row.
I want everybody to know the box was Born of the Gods, by the way.
Nobody bought a box of Born of the Gods off you for $180.
It did, because it was priced wrong on my little square thing.
That's super expensive for a box of Born of the Gods. Like, I'm pretty sure Born of the Gods is like, Josh, help me out here.
Let's not do the thing where we all go to the internet in the middle of the podcast and get to be a lull. Let's say focused on serialized cards.
$142. Why is it so expensive in my store?
He's like, I honored the price at $180, Louis.
Maybe it wasn't the right box. Oh my God, it's $90? Oh, that's Japanese. Oh, it's Russian. How could they? What? Let's talk about that. They could bring back more foreign languages.
Bozos! Stay focused.
Okay, let's move on. We're done with the serialized cards, apparently.
I'm never done with serialized cards. HometownTCG@gmail.com. I am buying cards.
Lou, we know you've fought it up for 2 weeks in a row now that you've gotten dunked on with these. But
we're about to start on Dominaria Remastered. So
what do you think where do you think these end? Where do you think the low end serialized card ends in 3 months?
This is good content. Where is it?
It 100% depends on if there's serialized cards in the next set, in my opinion.
Okay, let's do both scenarios real quick. If there are serialized cards, it's the exact same structure. It's a Mystic Archive style. There's the exact same number. What does it do to these?
If God is $140,
if they do another 37,500 serialized cards in the next set, you will see these serialized cards sell around $50 for the low end. That's my opinion.
And if they don't,
if they don't, I think your prices are pretty good. I think $200, probably the 150 to 200, probably the.
You're saying that's the cap if they don't do serialized cards in the next set. That's the cap.
I'm saying that's the bottom. You asked me where
the
bottom come out. Where will you be able to realistically get these
Gotcha.
one or two a week? Kind of picking them up.
Okay.
I think I agree with George that it's probably safe to buy a Mox Amber right now. Like Mox Amber serialized 1 of 500 probably isn't going to lose value even if there's 37,000 other serialized cards.
Oh my
but
God.
Ivory Tower, Julum Tome, I don't know how to pronounce that one. Like some of those cards, like I'm just sorry. Who wants a $50 version of that card when there's a bunch of other cards that are serialized? If the serialized number is the only thing that matters, which I think that's the case for a $200 Ivory Tower, $300 Ivory Tower, all you're paying for is a number. When you print 37,000 other numbers, just not that significant.
Wait, how many are printed? I missed it. Can you say it again? I missed
37,500. You're right. It was worse than what I said.
So 37,499 other numbers, though.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. I missed the first.
In the interest of accuracy.
Okay. Would any of you guys like to have a take and an opinion that's put out on the internet for people to ridicule?
I think I'm voting with my wallet right now. So I don't.
So where do you think these end up in 3 months?
In 3 months, I could see the floor being. I don't think in 3 months you'll get one for cheaper than $300. I think the supply will dry up. People will stop opening the product. They'll become less and less available. I don't think you'll get one cheaper than $300. I do agree that the high-end ones will always be worth more. I actually question your highly sought-after cards. Is there much room to grow? With them going for $1,200 to $1,500 in the short term, we're talking about 3 months here, George. Is there much room for that price to go up?
Oh, in 3 months? I don't know. Let me tell you.
That's what I was asked. I was just asking a question.
I bid on a Mox Amber and I lost out because it ended past my bedtime.
What did it end at?
1625, I think.
See, that seems cheap to me.
That seems cheap to me.
That one seems cheap.
Mox Amber's hold on. That one was damaged.
Oh, okay.
That one
that had a huge print
line. It had the egg.
Is that the double print line on the back? I think I saw that one.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Shout out to Mark Mujic, I think, on Facebook.
Yeah, like I bid on it, but he ended his auction at 5 a.m., so I don't get to bid on it.
So many of these things are being opened in Europe too.
I thought that's what time old people got up, George.
I probably could have bid on it when I got up if I checked right away, to be honest with you. That's probably a good call.
Come on, America.
I think I would probably be buying Mox Ambers today. I think that's probably what I would be buying.
Interesting.
I mean, God, I don't want to get into it. I will. I mean, when sports cards, you buy the best because those things appreciate the most.
I think that's a fair take.
And I do share the concern that minus the number, some of these cards are worthless. I agree with Josh that they won't be worthless because they're numbered.
Yeah.
So you're Switzerland. So you're just playing the middle again. Okay, good job.
Yeah, that's what I'm known for.
That's my move,
I'm known for not having hot takes. That's a good point, Louis. I can try to work on that.
Speaking of hot takes, let's move on to Dominaria Remastered, of which
George let me guess,
is
all
in.
You don't like it.
George is all in on Dominaria Remastered. All in. And no matter what he says on this podcast, he's very concerned about it because I talk to him every day.
Let me be very clear here. I am very concerned about this. Mark Rosewater, I have been very kind to you.
Yeah.
You have the power to break my back on this set, buddy.
I'm sure Mark Rosewater will say it's a great set, and he's all in on it.
I'm asking you to please reprint the reserve list in this box, Mark. That's what I'm going to tell you. Continue living.
Serialized. Watch this.
Serialized lotuses.
Serialized reserve list cards and Dominaria Remastered, and I have to eat so much crow. It's unbelievable.
Listen, all you're doing is pushing people to my content this week. So go for it.
Listen, if there is serialized reserve list cards in Dominaria Remastered, I will have to just close the YouTube channel. I can't come back from that. That'll be the end of the podcast, everyone.
You now have both made bets that Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast won't do something. George said they won't overdo it, which I don't know how you came to that conclusion. And now you're saying they won't do it. Why would you ever bet on that? If they can do it, they will do it.
I accidentally bet on that. That's the result of my actions of basically cutting my Dominaria Remastered ask by like 95%.
I only partially believe these serialized numbers. I think there are going to be 2 like 400s that pop up, and Wizards is like, oops. Oh,
my distro calling me like, hey, you don't have your numbers. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna regret this. And I was like, I have an idea. I'll take all of them. And they're like, really? I'm like, all of them, baby.
Did we just gloss over Josh accusing Wizards of reprinting the serialized cards? And
I did. If it happened, I would make a video. We'd talk about it, but I wouldn't be shocked. Okay, come on.
Okay.
Like they do everything we say they're not going to do. They do everything we say.
How
we're not
am I the pro corporate person on this podcast all of a sudden? Like, what
that
has happened?
The only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. What has happened,
George? You are the man.
You are the corporation. You're the man.
You're the Hasbro shill in our podcast. That's embarrassing. That's bad.
When people fight the power, George, you are the power. You're the man.
I thought that was a Lotus.
Okay, let's talk about Dominaria Remastered.
Power 9 joke. I hope all of you viewers caught it. I'm very proud of myself on that one.
George, why are you bullish on Dominaria Remastered?
Who the hell said I was bullish? I said I bought a ton of it. Who the hell said I was bullish?
You didn't say it very confidently. You implied that.
All right. So here's my theory of the case for why I think this might be okay. And why I think Louis could just be fudding it up like he does with every Magic product since he started covering Magic.
I'm not bullish, but this is why it might be okay.
Like, notice he told you not to buy Dominaria. He said Brothers of War is going to be a great set, but don't buy it.
I didn't say don't buy Brothers of War. I said it was the set of the year.
You said it's going to be a flop.
I said it is never mind.
You said it was a flop. You said it was going to be a flop.
Did I say that last week? That it was a flop?
No, you said that on your video, on your little thing that I get the stupid notification for on stupid YouTube. It says this set is great, but will flop.
Oh, yeah, I did say that. And it has happened.
I know.
It has happened.
It didn't flop at
all.
When
I made that video, collector boxes were selling for $245.
George, now it's just a YouTube thumbnail, my guy.
Now they're selling for $203 on TCG Player.
It's just a thumbnail, my friend.
Not accurate.
Here we go.
Here we go. I'm in.
The most googliest TCG podcast.
Yes. Apparently, I was watching I was listening to Tell 'em Steve Dave, and they were talking about how people hate it when you stop the podcast to do this stuff. And I was like,
$205 right now.
I was right.
Hey,
okay,
I hate
buddy.
it when you stop.
Okay, buddy. All right. So tell me why you're so bullish.
So, as I said, tell
me why you hate all Magic products.
Okay, it's also $205 plus $6 shipping, so it's actually $211. FUD Master Flex. So you're not even close. If you look at Time Spiral Remastered,
okay,
it was a great product.
Josh, no, he fell into my trap. I get to reap this.
And I know idiots will say things like that set didn't have a collector box, so there were chases in the draft box. Only an idiot would say this. Of course. This is called poisoning the well for those of you who like to follow fallacies in the comment section. I tend to think they're going to have something super spicy in the collector boxes.
Serialized.
Is it serialized?
Yeah, they're going to have serialized Lotuses in the. I will warn that, like, the problem with this set will be the price point is outrageous. My cost is outrageous.
Yeah.
I tend to think they're not going to burn us. This is a pure bet on Mark Rosewater not screwing me.
You guys are wild. You guys are insane.
I am not wild. I am not wild.
Mark, listen to this podcast, baby.
Wild. Okay.
This is a pure bet that Morrow will have my back and cradle me like an infant on top of the pile of money he's going to make me with the set because I'm the only one taking it.
All right. So, is that all? So your biggest bet on Dominaria Remastered is that Wizards of the Coast is not going to screw you over. That's your argument.
You just made a similar bet. Like, you guys are very, very forgiving and favorable and believing in this.
I am not believing in this, Josh. How are you seeing that I am believing in this?
Josh, do you need to borrow my glasses?
Like, all right. So, George, who can afford? You have to sell collector boxes.
Oh my God.
Collector boxes for $275 to make a decent, halfway decent profit.
I think if you do it at scale, you can get down to 255, 260.
Point of order here. Boxes will sell below where an LGS can actually make a profit. We've seen it.
That happens with every Magic set since
And every Pokemon set.
Yep.
No. Oh my God, George.
Oh, you had to throw it in there.
So
now we're off topic.
Unbelievably
this is your
wrong.
In
the last 2 years for Pokemon, we have a current $275 box.
Okay, you just said at release, right? You just said at release. Did I mishear you?
Nope, I did not.
So no Magic set sells above where stores can make profit?
Tell me what Magic set right now is selling for above that stores can make profit right now.
Throne.
That is not in the last 2 years, George. That product is almost 5 years old.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
yes,
it's
it is.
not.
2018.
3 years. No,
2018.
It's not. I don't believe you.
Josh?
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
You're not gonna... Throne of Eldraine. Oh my gosh.
2019.
Guys, this is the most googliest podcast.
So it's almost 2023, October 4th. So it's 4 years old.
Wait, was it? Wait, it's not almost October of 2023, donkey.
That's fair. It is a 3.5-year-old product.
What are you talking about?
It is a 3.5-year-old product.
It's a 3-year-old. It's a 2 year and a month old product.
And a half.
Yeah.
No, it's a
3-year product. It's a 3-year-old product.
It's a 42-month-old product. Us dads know. When you know, you know.
There's nothing since then.
Theros, I think is.
Theros is not there.
Oh my gosh. Was Theros before Throne?
No.
Was it after Throne?
Theros was after Throne. It's the first set that wrecked my store.
Yeah, and this is Dominaria Remastered.
Totally wrecked my store.
Dominaria Remastered is the second.
Modern Horizons 2 obviously is one. Double Masters is obviously one.
I mean, Double Masters prices have come way down.
Still way above what you paid.
Modern you guys Horizons are comparing
1, Modern Horizons 2.
All of George's examples are these specialty sets, right? Modern Horizons 2, Double Masters, Master sets, things like that. Dominaria Remastered doesn't really fit into the same box as these standard sets. It reaches a wider audience. People care about it more.
Yeah,
right. We saw that with Time Spiral Remastered.
So
I'm not saying that everything is good in Bliss, but I think it's unfair to compare it to some of these standard releases. Standard releases have been in a weird spot for a long time.
That's right. The best thing to compare the set to, in my opinion, would be Time Spiral Remastered and Double Masters. Utilizing
both of which are way above what you paid.
Utilizing those two things. I agree, George, that Double Masters was a huge success on release. I agree with that. Double Masters has come down significantly in price, and after fees and shipping, you aren't making much money as a store on the marketplaces. I also would like to highlight that this is not Double Masters. This is
it's a different set.
But Double Masters has a little bit bigger pull, right? Because it feels like there's something for everybody in the set.
And our cost is very different. You paid like the Double Masters collectors had 4 packs.
That's fair.
Like this, I think it's listen, I could be dead wrong. I'm not I hope nobody's listening to this being that man is confident. This man is not confident. No, not at all. But this is where listen, if you're gonna be an LGS, you gotta take your shot. This is my shot. And listen, I remember very clearly. Let me tell you,
I took my shot on Brothers. I took my shot on Brothers.
Well, you gotta take better shots. I took my first really huge shot as a store on Double Masters 1 VIP packs because nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted them when they came out. I didn't get cut a single box. It was my first time ever as a store. I wasn't allocated. I think that's true. I think that came out before that terrible Pokemon set, Battle Styles. which
Talk
also
about
almost broke
6
my
feet
store.
under the ground on this podcast, just taking
God,
licks.
battle styles. And like I took every VIP pack, and I remember Distro even like offering me the olive branch of like, if you leave 10%, we won't hold it against you. I was like, no, send it. Like this is the hill I'm going to die on. This is not the hill I'll die on for Dominaria Remastered, but like I do think this is a good bet if you're a store. I do think they'll do something special. I don't think they want the set to be a flop. I think they're going to make it cool.
So, Josh, I'm curious on your takes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
No, I want to hear your side.
This set feels extremely interesting to me, and it's something I'm talking about on the channel this week. So based on when that video goes out, it's the notion that we're moving kind of away from this 3 product release, and we have a draft box and we have a collector box, right? And I think there is some sweet spot somewhere between the Time Spiral Remastered release that was just the draft product, and you can play it and it was awesome, but people also wanted to open these packs and chase a lot of these cards, where this set's going to hit a lot of people in the right area. We're going to have people that are opening to play and draft and get that draft experience, which we know these remastered products are great curated draft experiences. But we now are going to let people open and chase cards and have special versions of things outside of what you can get in the draft product. And I think this is a really interesting experiment. And my hot take here is I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of Magic sets in the future maybe trend towards this release, this idea of a higher end collectible product to crack just one, not multiple, and then one draft product to play. I really think this is kind of a sweet spot, so I'm excited to see where this goes.
If my customers only buy one collector pack, I'm going to be sleeping on your couch. I just want to make that very clear. I'm camping over at your house if my customers only buy one collector box per person. Louis.
They
need to buy a case.
Pack or box?
Box. They need to buy a case.
Josh, I think I feel the community is saying that collector boxes, the increase in price for collector boxes has an adverse effect for feeling like you pull something really good. Like I feel like with Double Masters, initially it felt really cool and really exciting. Then you open up so many of them, or so many of them get opened that the value of the chase cards tanks. I mean, look at Imperial Seal. The foil etched one is down to $165 off of the highs of $250, and that's a exclusive card that you could. What, George? Why are you looking at me like that?
Like, that's not that big of a drop, I don't think.
It's a nearly 50% drop.
I mean, like that's what I would expect on
it's not release week. For 3 months, the product was $240 to $250, and then a huge amount of supply increase in the market when stores started opening their product. When you started seeing the boxes drop in price, stores started opening the product. I did this. Like this was
my shock. You opened a bunch of boxes and started to sell them on TCG Player.
Right, like that's what I did when prices of boxes started dropping. I started opening the boxes and selling the singles, and you still got some of the return on the profit. And so I just think at $275 to $300 for.
I think there's a big difference here, though, and the difference comes from the Time Spiral Remastered situation we referenced earlier. Is these collector boxes theoretically, again, this is all Wizards could blow us out of the water and just print a trillion and reprint and reprint and reprint. But if it's anything like anything like Time Spiral Remastered, there's a chance the collector boxes are actually printed and there's a wave released, and then that's it. And that theoretically solves this problem. Now, will they do it? That's the $1 million question, right? Do we trust Hasbro to do it? And you guys have we've done the circle of trust with Hasbro today. This is where I'm going to lean in. And my circle of trust with Hasbro is going to say sooner or later, they are going to go back to these collector products being limited in some way, right? They're going to pivot back to that sooner or later. That's my circle of trust for Hasbro. I think if that happens here, that's huge.
Okay. So I disagree with both of you guys. Like this is going to be an interesting to watch and follow up with us as the release happens, because
set of the year.
I will reiterate, I am not
set of the year.
Man, like at our cost, it's expensive. Like when I look at this product at my cost as a player, I'm like, oh man, I don't really want to open those. Like, I don't.
Like, I think these are going to be cool. I think they're going to do something special.
They're going to be sweet.
All right. We'll see how it goes. So my take, I already did a video, so I'll just reiterate real quick. Time Spiral Remastered came out. Huge supply chain issues. No real restock. No real significant restock for stores. Some of them went on Amazon. And thank you, Jeff Bezos.
A lot of them went on Amazon.
Oh my God, we know.
No real restock.
It's worth saying, George. Jeez,
that's a problem, George.
I did.
I love.
It's the last time that happened, and it gets brought up every week,
George.
Because this is the first remastered set since that one.
They're not. I mean, but they seem to have fixed that. They seem to have fixed that.
We haven't seen it yet. This is the first one since then.
I'm still doing my take. Excuse me, George Wendt, owner of an LGS, biggest supporter of Jeff Bezos, Amazon, and Hasbro. Number one supporter, number one fan of Hasbro. That is true.
Shout out to Mark Rosewater. I got your back, homie. Oh, and Bob Iger. I definitely got your back. Welcome back, buddy.
So
get out, Chapek.
Anyway, you had a supply chain issue with no restock on Time Spiral.
Except for Amazon.
The chase cards for Time Spiral, in my opinion, are one of the things that drive the current price of Time Spiral. And if you saw a collector box of Time Spiral Remastered, you would not have a $250 foil Thoughtseize, a foil rare for $250. You want to have that because the collector packs would put way too many supply into the market, and it wouldn't be able to sustain that. I think one of the chases of Time Spiral is that it reminds older Magic players, which is what this product is made for, is the enfranchised older players. That's what Time Spiral went into. Boomers. It gave them that same feeling that they remember of opening up a booster box and not having a foil in every pack and having like iconic chase things that were fun to pull and open. That was, in my opinion, the experience of Time Spiral Remastered. And that's what you don't get with Dominaria Remastered, and I think that's a big loss. So that's my take. Anyway, any follow up to that?
I think you can have a healthy medium with, again, I've already said this, with limited printing collector product, making collector product actually worth something, not printing it to oblivion, right? I think you can have a healthy medium of having the draft boxes hold value, contain cool things, while also giving the people who want to spend the extra money and chase certain things the ability to do so. So it's all about balance to me, and we'll see. I mean, hey, again, just like everything else, we're going to find out. Someone's going to be right. It's going to happen.
As soon as you put the word collector on something, it makes it not collectible.
God, will it be me?
No. This one. Oh my gosh. It's like you already watched the video that hasn't been released yet.
What? Are you about to steal my take and make a video out of it?
Oh my God.
Already made.
It's already made. Pluggiest TCG podcast.
It's already made.
Hey Josh, do you have a channel somewhere they can find?
It's also, I hate to break your bubble, but it's an old Rudy statement too. That as soon as you put the word collectible on something, it makes it not collectible. So, all right, let's move on. Let's keep it going. Jumpstart.
That transition was smooth.
I don't care. Cut. We're transitioning. Jumpstart 2022, 2023. What is this one? It's 2022, right? I hate that. It's like barely coming
October
out.
2023. I learned this last segment.
Jumpstart. George, you're all in on Jumpstart too, aren't you?
I'm just learning George is all in. George is all in on Magic.
I actually am.
Oh my gosh. Hasbro's is gonna save the day. They're really gonna make it right. They're really gonna not screw this up.
Former LGS owner George here with his take on Jumpstart. By the time this podcast has released,
Mark Rosewater's go. It's really gonna go great. They really learned their lesson on the other three ones.
I love.
Well, I think the problem is and this is where I do think they really messed that up.
Don't name.
They should have never called the other two Jumpstart. They should have called it theme boosters. They should have get stolen from Tanner.
They already had that. They already had theme boosters.
No, I'm saying like theme booster decks is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, like theme booster decks.
You know what they should have just done? they should have whenever the guy came up with the conversation in the meeting to do that, they should have just fired him. They should have just kicked him to the curb and fired him.
What's that meme where
They should have been like,
they throw him out
they
the
should
window?
have been like, hey, listen, Mark Rosewater, stop making stupid decisions.
I think there's a home for that product. Like, I think that's a better product than theme boosters.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's a much better product.
So is like putting a $sign on your toilet in your LGS and charging people to go to the bathroom. That's a better product than theme boosters.
Oh my! This is a little insight into your LGS, isn't it?
Oh. No. Like, theme boosters were a terrible product that nobody bought.
I agree. That's like, okay.
So yeah, it was a better product, kind of, but not really. It was more like a lateral.
It's a much better product. Like, there's a home for that product.
There is a home for that product. When you're as big as Magic the Gathering is, you have to pay the intro player tax. The certain level of the community that wants to buy these and play them at their middle school table or whatever it might be, however you're using them, you have to pay that tax as a company. You have to have product available for them.
I will absolutely positively buy a couple boxes of every Jumpstart set for the sets, even though it's the bad Jumpstart. I never bought theme booster decks after I got ripped off the first one from my distributor.
I agree with Josh. This is the Jumpstart packs are the perfect way for a middle schooler to play Magic the Gathering. That is the sales pitch. I agree.
Listen, what's wrong with that? Like,
middle schoolers don't have $4. Middle schoolers don't have $8 to spend on 2 packs to play the game.
Schoolers have iPhone 14s. They have nicer houses than me. Where do you live?
West Virginia.
What is happening?
West Virginia.
What is happening right now? You know, school lunch is like $5 now, Louis.
Middle schoolers don't have $8 to play Magic the Gathering. Like, the perfect product for a middle schooler is what they had, which were the intro decks that were free. You could go to your LGS. This is like them trying to monetize intro decks. It's the only good that comes out of Jumpstart. Is it's the perfect product for a new player who doesn't have any cards to hop in and learn. They used to have that. It was the intro decks, and they were free.
But this new Jumpstart looks good. People are hyped about it.
But like you said, it's a little bit different.
It's a real Jumpstart.
Yes, it's a real Jumpstart.
Never call the other two Jumpstart.
Yes,
that was a colossal mistake on Hasbro's part to call the other two Jumpstart.
Yeah, this Jumpstart looks good.
Stupid. That's a stupid way to dilute the brand name.
This one looks good.
It does feel weird, right?
Yeah, because now I have to tell my customer, no, this is a real Jumpstart. This isn't garbage. And I mean, like, that's a hard sell. Like, I think, like, George, that's a hard sell.
Were you able to do Jumpstart events when Jumpstart was out? Because that was the pandemic. I don't know what your store looked like.
Yeah, we were open. We had to be open by federal rule.
Gotcha. Did people like that? No.
Not at all. Not at all.
But it's a great product, everybody. It's
the most canceled TCG podcast.
Like, my stores, like, you know, they cracked the boxes. And like, you know, like, some of the new, like,
they didn't use
the people who liked Jumpstart were the people who were new to the base, and that, you know, because they come to the base after they go to boot camp for months, so they've missed sets of Magic in this current environment. They've missed like 80 sets of Magic, and so, like, you know, they come in.
FUD.
They probably
FUD.
They probably don't have their decks with them, so like that's a good way. Like, hey, give me, you know, 2 packs, and I'll shuffle up and play against somebody else. I love Jumpstart. I think Jumpstart's freaking brilliant. My store probably doesn't use them the way Morrow intended, but they still love the product. Like, I am very confident I will sell a ton of Jumpstart on release day.
So I'm
far more confident than I am about Dominaria Remastered.
I think that this Jumpstart looks really good. I do want to caution viewers that the previous Jumpstart skyrocketed in price because of supply chain issues. This Jumpstart will be like a regular booster box. I would honestly not pre-order it at like anything over like $100, $110, $100.
Wait, that might not. Is that? Do we know for a fact that's true?
Yes. What?
The whole thing was that these were printed at a different printer than the normal Magic the Gathering box, and that's why the issue came about, because these are different packs, and there was some other product they had that was printed the same printer. Are these printed at the auxiliary printer or the main printer? Do we know that?
No clue. Why does that matter?
So,
like, they have proven that they will they will reprint Jumpstart.
They will absolutely
To the
reprint
ground.
Jumpstart.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that. Like, that's just your FUD. Like, they have proven they will reprint Jumpstart.
God, you call things FUD that are just like, hey, don't buy a bunch of boxes to invest in right now. Wait till like regular Jumpstart is like $85 a box right now.
That doesn't mean they're going to reprint this as much as they reprinted that one, though.
It might come
that,
close.
Like, that doesn't. They could like. They might not reprint this one to the ground.
You're right. I forgot. Mark Rosewater, the GOAT, the perfect person. Hasbro stock's doing great. Everyone's excited.
Had a great week. Thank you all for the FUD. I bought some on the dip. I appreciate you all. Keep going, baby.
I also bought Hasbro stock this week.
Why? It's going to zero, I thought.
Wait, are you serious? Because I also bought Hasbro.
Yeah, I bought
this
Hasbro.
week.
The most Hasbro stock ever.
So, you know what I did?
Podcast.
I looked at Hasbro stock from before the pandemic. I was like, oh, like, I mean, this is like really cheap prior to the pandemic. Anyway, I'm probably going to. This is the best time to sell your Hasbro stock because I bought it.
Because you just
as
bought
soon
it.
as I enter into the world. Yeah. Anyway, cool cards.
Anyone want to buy Pokemon?
Cool cards. Vendilion Click is a reprint.
Ristic Studies in this.
Ristic Study as a rare.
Tron is in here.
That caught me off guard. I didn't know that. That's wild. That's expensive, isn't it?
No.
Favorite Robot is in here. Solemn
Really?
Simulacrum is in here.
Tron lands are not expensive, George.
Really?
No.
No, special editions of Tron lands can get pricey for full sets for decks, but regular Tron lands you can get
the double master VIP pack Tron lands were the sexiest land sets.
Those were
in existence.
Very good looking lands.
I had a pauper deck that had all this in foil.
Oh my god, there's a Hangerback Walker and
pauper
Aether
deck
Spellbound.
mean? I must not know what words mean.
There's some cool cards. There's some big, Giant Eldrazi things. I'm excited about this.
Abominable Snowman's in this set, I think. That's a good card.
How I plan on using this as a store, we do a league for every set. So like right now is our Brothers War League. So you get 4 booster packs. You can buy a new pack every 3 losses, or every week you can buy a new pack to add to your sealed deck. So I think we're going to do a league for Jumpstart where you buy 2 of the things, you put them together, and that's your deck. And then you can like change your decks if you want. You can move it around. I don't know. We'll see if we do it.
If you play in Louis' league and you win and have a Kami of Ancient Law in the deck, sign it, send it to me. It'll go up on the back shelf here. That's from one of my favorite Magic.
You can give me a present and I'll display it.
Hey, Daniel.
It's a common. It costs 2 cents. I'll pay for shipping.
Hey, Daniel, did you hear that? Because I'm pretty sure he's the only one that watches the podcast from my store. So just Daniel, if you win, put it up there. Anyway,
your marketing is fantastic. Anchorback Walker's in this. This is
nice. Did not know I had a podcast really until Tyler was my store manager.
A lot of really cool cards in the set.
Yeah, artwork is insane too.
Artwork's cool.
The enlarge, I don't think I have in here. The enlarge is a giant cat jumping in the water. Pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah. I'm on the enlarge right now.
But anyway, I'm excited about this. I do think it's a good product. I think this iteration of Jumpstart seems to be better than it's different cards. The worst part of the new Jumpstarts is that it's all the same cards. It's not really a unique experience, and this is a unique experience. I would just caution people. I would just caution people that this is not going to be the same as the first Jumpstart, where packs were hard to get. This is going to be very, very easy to get, in my opinion. So
yes, agreed.
Okay, let's move on to some of the other TCGs. Oh, Black Friday. George, you want to talk about your Black Friday sales?
No, I want to hear what you think Amazon's going to do. I know you were saying that Amazon's going to dump all their boxes, all their collector boxes will be $49. What's your prediction for Amazon Black Friday? I know you've been on this for a long time.
Hold on. You guys got to speak to people directly. Jeffy B. I have bought so many serialized cards lately. I cannot afford $49 collector boxes. I need you to hold back. Don't do it right now.
Nobody said that there were going to be $49
collector boxes would be everywhere on Amazon.
Not from Brothers War.
No, but you said they'd be readily available on Amazon. It's like, what's your guess on Amazon sales?
I still hold true that we will see some very, very cheap collector boxes
on Amazon.
I think we'll see $90 to $100 AFR boxes. I think Streets of New Capenna will be pretty low.
That is such an underrated set. Streets of New Capenna is so good.
Hard disagree.
Good.
I think that's hopefully the newest that they get. I will be very angry if we see something newer than New Capenna at Amazon discount.
Isn't only 2 sets after that are Dominaria?
Yeah, like if we get like, I think I'm okay with Streets because Distro's been trying to dump Streets for
Distros, you can't move it.
like
We can't
6
move
months.
Streets. They
Like,
cannot move it.
I can currently buy Streets of Capenna for I think
Nope.
30% lower than when initial release, something like
Oh
that.
no, I think it's way less than that.
Is it more? Have they lowered it again? I stopped looking.
It's also like, let's be clear here. I bet you if you were like, let's make a deal, they'd make you a deal.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like Streets might be on this list.
I think Streets is a good call.
Do you think there's going to be nothing?
No. I think it'll be something. I think it'll be as drastic and terrible as you do. Shocking.
I mean, they already.
I see what you did there, Louis. You did what he normally does to you.
Yeah.
To him. I like that.
I'm learning.
It only took you a year and a half. I'm proud of you.
I mean, they already had $90 not Crimson Val. I think it was Crimson Val and Innistrad.
The D&D sets were such a colossal mistake. It's like stunning.
Oh, you'll see. I think Baldur's Gate would be on this, maybe. Like,
Baldur's.
I won't defend.
Like,
I won't
here's
defend
the problem they have with
Gate.
Baldur's Gate is what price would you buy that?
I think $90 people would.
$90. I think I'd probably start taking a look.
I would not. Personally, I would.
That's the problem. It's like I think I could be in the minority of buying them at 90.
No, the problem is I already have enough boxes for me for my personal collection. I have probably 10 times the number of collector boxes that I want of Baldur's Gate in my personal collection.
And it's like,
and who's going to buy them as a store? If I buy them for $90 as a store, everybody else, yeah, who's buying them at 120? Nobody. Anyway, so. I am doing for my Black Friday. You buy any booster box of Magic, you get a Modern Horizons 2 collector pack for in-store only. Everyone, this is not advertising. And then
I don't know why we're doing this. Like, if you
live
in West Virginia, go to
people
Louis'
are
store.
interested.
No, listen, man. Black Friday sales are cool. It's like the one area we always complain. Oh, these stores are dumping this product. It's like the one handshake dump day a year where it's like, hey, we're selling these for way too low and we're all okay with it. It's a very unique scenario.
So let me be very clear. I'm not like super lowering my prices or anything like that.
You aren't, but other people are.
I am.
Well,
Zendikar set $100.
Okay. That's not lowering.
Like if it was a Tuesday, let's say
that's pretty good.
Let's say you were to sell Metazoo boxes at $50 a box, right? If we were to do that on a random Tuesday, you and I would talk about it. If it's on Black Friday, everyone's like, "Oh, it's a Black Friday deal." It's such a weird dynamic.
What else I got going on? I have Modern Horizon 2 set boxes.
I'm doing.
Tell me you don't know anything about your store without telling me you don't know anything about your store.
I'm pulling it up right now, Boo Boo.
I'm doing for Pokemon. I'm doing buy any box. You get 2 Pokemon Go mini tins, which is 4 Pokemon Go packs. And then I'm doing
Pokemon Go. Never mind, those are worthless.
And then if you buy, I'm doing Charizard. George, you'll love this. Charizard UPCs for $100 in store.
Set of the year. That's a great product. It's a great,
I love it.
Unbelievably fantastic.
So here,
unreal how great that product is.
And I'm doing Brilliant Stars UTBs for $30. Here's my goal with Black Friday. I want people to come into my store and feel like they got a great deal. I want to hang out with them, say hi. I want people who came into the store 6 months ago and haven't been back in to come back in. I just want a good experience for customers. I'm not trying to like all those sales. Like, I'm not going to make a lot of money. I'm not really even dumping a bunch of product. I'm just trying to get people excited to feel good, like they got a good deal. They got a good bargain for something. So, yeah. What are you doing, George? If you're interested, reach out to Tyler. Apparently, he's the only one that knows what George is doing.
$50 celebration Pikachu VMAX figure collection.
Nice. I'm using this opportunity to clean my desk. I found an ultimate
$150.
Okay, we're losing all the viewers.
Into Darkness Ablaze ETB.
All right, moving on.
What? That was a great sale.
No. All right, moving on. I did a Cryptic Learn to Play event.
Can I go refill my drink? I'm dying.
No, we're almost done. So my Cryptic Learn to Play event this week, it was super good. We only had 6 people there, which is pretty typical whenever we do a new event. But this is the first event where as soon as the event was over, people went and bought boxes. Like, we sold 4 booster boxes as soon as the event was over. And then the next day, the other 2 people ended up buying boxes when they saw all the polls in the Discord server.
The FOMO hit?
Yeah.
The FOMO hits.
I only had 6 boxes on the shelf, so I think people thought I was going to be out. I wasn't.
But the self-created
like distribution.
Hits.
They're in the back.
I wasn't out. I didn't tell them I was going to be out, but the next day there were more boxes on the shelf. That's on them. That's not on me. It's on them. So it was cool. People really liked it, and then everyone is like building decks. It's just really cool to see. I've tried a bunch of new TCGs at the store. It's cool to see one, like, in my opinion, get the recognition it deserves, and people other than me really liked playing it, and so it's cool.
Like Cryptic has this weird thing where I think it's the most accessible and one of the more balanced and better games that we've covered. To be honest, it's a great game. Just releasing at the exact wrong time, like releasing in the middle of like TCG dumpster fire, and like that's bad luck for Tanner. Everybody I've talked to who's played it has loved it. Really great game, seems to be balanced. People are loving it. And like, listen, like if Tanner can make this work for 2 to 3 years, I think he'll be in a great spot.
Hot take? I think you're wrong.
Hot take.
I think you're wrong. I think this is the perfect time for it to release. So
that is a hot take. That is a hot take.
It's the perfect time for the game to be delivered. It would not be the perfect time to do a Kickstarter or to start selling the product. He sold all the product in the hype. Product comes out. You can't flip it. Like you can't just like easily, you can make your money back. You can't turn it and flip it. So everybody who is currently buying boxes or who has boxes is either opening it and trying the game out or selling it to somebody who wants the box not to flip it, but to try the game out, which I think will result in more people actually taking a shot at trying to play the game. More LGSs, not just flipping online, but trying to learn to play events like I'm doing. Like, I think that the release schedule is interesting because he's not getting the instant 10D flippers, but he is getting, in my opinion, something that might be more important, which is people who actually love the product and want to see the game succeed. So it's an interesting dynamic for sure.
He could be leaning into the disgruntled fan base too. Like there's a lot of TCGs with either not a lot going on or maybe some disgruntled fans that are more open to picking something up. And as they experience it, they like the gameplay, like you did. You build a small community of 4 to 8 people, and that tight knit community kind of carries that and grows from there. At in these our most trying times,
and that's all you need. So yesterday I was spying on my store on my camera, which I do from time to time.
Okay.
And
all right.
Okay.
And one of
the cameras.
I mean, they're right there. Like everybody can see the cameras. Anyway, I was just checking. Really, what I was doing was just checking in.
Some of them.
And one of the customers was showing Cryptic on the shelf to another customer. I was listening to him. He was like, "The game's really cool. It plays a lot like Magic. It feels a lot like Magic, but the resource system's fixed." And he was saying, and the artwork is super cool. And he was literally selling the box like for me. It was really interesting to see like the community come around and share it with the other people in the community. Yes, Josh.
Someone's got to sell something in that store.
Anyway, so I think we're going to be doing a Cryptic event in February sometime. I'm going to try to get my community going a little bit, and then I want to try to do like a regional, kind of like what you're doing, George, but like a
national.
Okay, yeah. Good luck with that. I want to try to do like a regional thing where we do like a I don't know what it'll end up being, like a 1K or 2K where people can actually come from around the region who are interested or did the Kickstarter and have a place to do a pretty big event. So we're getting a new space hopefully in January or earlier.
And next week we'll have the Metazoo Be With You exclusive reveal of the playmat that will be at my tournament.
Oh, super cool. And that is December 3rd, right?
December 3rd.
Yeah, cool.
Well, the artist will be there signing. Tanner will not be signing, apparently, which is news to me. So if you came here for Tanner's signature, tough luck. Take a seat. Take the artist signature. I will sign your baby instead, though. And you know what? I'll sign Tanner's name. I don't care.
Wait, will he not sign babies? Really? Like,
I don't know.
Maybe he can make an exception and
only sign. Okay, you know what? Screw it, Tanner. I hope it's okay with you. He will only sign babies.
There you go. You can't sell a baby, you know? Like you can't. Like,
yeah.
All right. Anyway, so Cryptic events coming up, pretty cool. All right. Speaking of events, Genesis had their Worlds recently, in which the Germans completely swept and beat everybody. So
that's not exactly true, but it's close. The Germans dominated.
So somebody said this on the podcast a long time ago. The international crowd for Genesis is crazy.
I hate that that's a lead-in all the time.
I love that that's a lead-in. Good job. Louis, you're right. I concede only because of your lead-in. That's a great point and well thought out. Good job.
Genesis fans.
Josh, what is in that drink? I swear to God, it's like 90% pulp and like 10% beer.
Listen, so my wife bought orange juice at Costco. Went to Costco for the first time. If you've never been to
Love
a Costco,
Costco.
go to a Costco. Blew my mind. Bought the biggest thing of orange juice she can find. She hates pulp. It was extra pulp. So all the orange juice that you buy that is no pulp, they take it out of there and dump it in this jug.
That beer looks like it's all pulp. Like, what is wrong with you?
And the pulp is the healthy stuff, and you're sick, and we're in close proximity right now, so I'm keeping myself healthy.
That's smart. The beer really adds. The Miller
I
Lite.
got a deep dish pizza yesterday to help heal me. No, 2 days ago, it did not.
Alcohol kills germs. Orange juice boosts my immune system. Tell me where I'm wrong.
That's fair. It's 2:00 on a Tuesday.
And here I am with you two.
It's 2:00 on a Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure you're working. So, do I need to tell you anywhere else where you're wrong? Anyway, moving on. The Germany won the Genesis tournament. No, really, overseas, the demographic that likes what's the word? Like Euro board games, like resource management games, and kind of that crowd has really caught on to loving Genesis, and so it doesn't surprise me that Germany won the Genesis.
No, they were. I think they were the favorites, to be honest.
They should have made this the world. This is a missed opportunity for advertisement and marketing. They should have. It was right before the World Cup. They should have made it the World Cup of Genesis, and the play field should have been a soccer field. It should have been.
That's actually true.
That's actually
true.
That's
damn. You're on fire today.
Freaking cool,
listen,
baby. Let's go.
Listen, I know marketing.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Anyway, so congrats to Germany.
The country. Congrats, Merkel. You got this.
This is a great victory for all the people of the land.
This is everything I know about the. You guys can pick up from here. This is everything I know about.
When Italy sends a team, I'll be all in. I was born in Italy. I will jump on that team. I'll wear the flag.
Were you born in Italy?
Yeah, I was born in Brindisi. It's a small port town in the heel of the boot, dude.
Yeah.
Why were you born in Italy?
That's a long story. I don't want to get into it. I'd rather drink my.
Were you sold as a baby?
This is Louis' first deal. That was the first thing sold at CavDeansMarket.com.
All right. Congrats. Now we can't edit the baby selling jokes because we have now made it part of the whole podcast. Congratulations.
Were you going to edit that?
Yes, probably. Yes. That seems like that probably should
Let this be a lesson to you viewers. You miss 99% of the good stuff. You're like getting the table scraps what Louis leaves you.
This isn't like financial advice. For those out there listening, Louis doesn't actually broker the sale of children. It doesn't happen.
I don't know how we got here. I don't understand.
Well, it's 2:00 on a Tuesday.
Congratulations.
It's 2:00 on a Tuesday. Josh is drunk. I have a fever that I can't break with Tylenol. Let's roll.
Right, let's finish it up with the Metazoo minute.
That's it. All right. Let's go. I'm in.
Metazoo has a big product update. I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about because there's been a lot of people complaining about not getting their products and not knowing where the product is, and so they put out a whole. Invader Squid did it. Who I assume that is previous. They changed their names in their Discord server a lot, and I don't know
how to do that, and I'm very thankful for that.
I think it's Andy who's the guy who's the head of products. Anyway, they did a shipping update, and I think that this is, again, I always go back to with Metazoo. I think they're big enough now that this needs to be on their website and not in a Discord server, but it's still a big win. They have it says the product and then says where it is currently shipping from our warehouse, tracking, updating right now. The next product is shipping next, and it kind of outlines the things. I think that's really good. And I think other games should do this. I mean, we're seeing it with Sorcery, right? Where they have their product release schedule. This is becoming, I think, something that the alternative TCG market is saying, hey, we want this. We want to know where we are on these products. We want to know, when things are getting delivered and where we are in that. So I think it's cool that they're doing it. I think they should lean into it more and more. I think it should be on their website, but I think it's really cool that they're doing it.
Sure, one of the biggest things you have with indie TCGs, or maybe not even, I don't know, is Metazoo still an indie TCG, right? Like that category of TCG is still
There
quote
are
unquote.
2 not indie TCGs.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, that was quite the dramatic look for that statement. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But with TCGs like this, one of the big things we're seeing right now is lack of confidence, right? The whole notion of being a Kickstarter TCG, people do get uneasy with these things. It's nice to have that roadmap. It gives your consumers and end users a bit of confidence.
I have nothing but faith in Polywog. It's coming soon. You just got to be patient, Josh. Okay, just relax.
Listen, hey, at least it's in the right. You said it in the right segment. Good for you, dude.
Wow. I got Louis was about to say something, and he gets nothing.
Wow.
I agree. Like, I think these are good. I still think that Metazoo should be no longer pre-selling. I think they should be selling product they have once it's in the warehouse. Like, that has been my take this year. I think they'll get to that next year, to be honest. I think they should. It's not like, I can't imagine they're hurting for cash.
You're
I
buying
think this is great.
sweatshirts.
God, I am so hyped for Bape. God, I'm hyped for Bape.
All right, yeah, maybe I do need to say something to the comment section. I'm sorry I didn't know what Bape was.
Yeah, get cool.
Be
cool like me.
The comment section wrecked me.
Did they really?
Yeah, no, they did.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That surprised me. Like,
there's a lot of Bape support in the comment section.
Yeah,
really?
I'm baffled.
Bape is hot, man. Bape is
also
like
Mike said that it's super popular in retail stores in Asia, or they have a large retail footprint in Asia, which implies that there will be Metazoo product in Asia footprint.
And one they're at every once, and they have like 3 flags from Asia. Like, what? I think like one of their at every one's like a week ago. What the heck am I, Wizard?
Oh.
So like, I think they're trying to tackle the Asia market head on, which is smart. Lots of people there.
Yeah. So
I think it's a great move for them to update people. That's great. I'm all in.
Anyway, I would like to see it probably on a website. I think that would be healthy.
I agree, I think, but it doesn't let it bother me.
Maybe if it's in the Discord server, maybe its own little section of the Discord server rather than buried in like
if it gets lost, that's a problem, right? You want to be able to click and find it right away.
Wait. I don't care about that. Was the arcade game on there?
Yeah, it says arcade game already pre-sold and delivering tomorrow to people who got it.
Wait a minute, George. That means you didn't get it.
Yeah. Out.
Luckily, I know, unlike TCGs, I am friends with the distros of the arcade games. I can guarantee you that's not true.
It's definitely not true. I completely was just doing it to make you mad. It says nothing about it.
What?
I was in.
Mike! All right, Mike, leave in the comment section below the update on the arcade game.
Yeah,
that's right. You got to visit the MTWZBWY with You podcast comment section for the scoopiest of scoopies.
Facts.
There's also spoilers for Native, which is that the last set in the block, George?
I think so.
I think that's the last set, and then they're moving. Makes sense with the Asia retail footprint, because I think after that they are moving to other
the island.
Yeah, the other countries,
the regions,
cryptids.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. I think it'll be good.
I wonder if he's gonna try to get Godzilla.
Go.
That'd be because like that would I don't know the deal with WotC. They had it on their cards already. I wonder if they're gonna try to get Godzilla. Remember, like WotC got like the weird Godzilla, didn't they?
Yeah, it went great.
It went great. Ikori is another one that's way above what we paid, jerk. And
shout out, callback.
And like, I wonder if Michael tried to get Godzilla.
That would be cool. Godzilla cards are neat. Ikoria cards were sweet.
Ikoria was such a good set.
Ikoria was cool.
Ikoria booster box, $115 on TCG Player.
Now do collector box for me.
The most googliest TCG podcast.
Like that's barely.
Can you go over what the collector box was? There you go. Thank you. Yeah, that was the old pricing. That's way above what we paid.
Yeah, you guys were
anyway. So I don't remember where we were, but this is probably the end of the podcast now. So thank you.
What about Godzilla in the next block of Metazoo cards?
That'd be great. Yeah. Godzilla is cool. A crypt. Is that? I guess that would.
I think it's a cryptid.
Is it?
Is a cryptid just like any monster? Like regional.
By that logic, is Pikachu a cryptid?
Well, I think
Yeah.
Pikachu. Yeah. Why not?
I don't want to see Godzilla in this IP.
Really? You don't want to see Godzilla Metazoo style? I think that'd be
Like,
awesome.
Godzilla, in my mind, it's a make believe character. It's not
Versus the Mothman, which is
like the
totally
Mothman.
Where you
people-
going with this, dude? Where you going with this, dude? People believe in
Mothman-
Godzilla too.
The Mothman is a real thing. Okay, the Mothman is real.
Figurine ready to go.
People believe in the Mothman. People don't believe in Godzilla. People believe in Bigfoot and
People
aliens.
believe in Megalodon.
I will
Someone probably
guarantee
believes in
you more
Godzilla.
people believe in Godzilla than Mothman.
All right, let's put a bet on it. I don't think that's true.
I think it's got to be true.
It's got to be true.
No.
There's-
I didn't know what a
more people
Mothman.
have
I
heard
didn't
of
know what a
Godzilla.
Mothman was until Metazoo came
More
out.
people have
Everyone knows what a
more
Godzilla
people have
is.
certainly heard of Godzilla, just like more
Yeah.
people have heard of Pikachu. People don't think Pikachu's real.
I think more people believe that Pikachu is real than believe Mothman is real.
100%. 100%.
I
100%.
No, God, your guys' takes this week are so ridiculous. I feel like I'm in an episode of the Twilight Zone where I'm listening to my own takes from the last year and a half.
people know what the
podcast.
Twilight Zone is, and still nobody knows what Mothman is. Fantastic.
Facts.
Everyone who's watching, I've tried. I have tried today to keep us on track.
It's still babies.
I've tried.
I'm pretty sure I'm the one that brought
This
us
is
back on track.
this is the best we can do. We'll do other videos on the channel this week without the bozos. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you for being here.
Happy Black Friday and
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thanksgiving,
post
happy
Thanksgiving.
holidays.
I hope your bellies are still full. And may,
God, I
the,
hope my fever's gone away by then. That's all I really care about.
Oh, your favorite number then too.
may the zoo be with you. And remember to be kind to the people around you.
And you messed it up. And you messed it up.